evening, good afternoon, hi, welcome back. All that good stuff. We're back working on the Crimson Court. I'm still kind of getting myself situated, but hello. We'll be starting off with the first, and then maybe guys if we got time. Duval. I was trying to remember his name before stream. But one of the things I do is brighten up the sound mix. It's a little bit dull for what I wanted. That's what I'll just... Again, please excuse the raspberries. It takes a few weeks to heal up, so our friend and local raspberries will be appearing for a little while. Okay, sadly this does mean I have to repaint the armor. This is a technique, but it's my own fault. Painted it, brightened. Expect that? No worries. Thank you for letting me know this. I'll also move the mic closer to my face. Sounds like I'm using the wrong mic. Probably the mic being too far away. I wasn't pointing the mic at my face. I'll double check. I think. Sort it. Also, turn the music down a little bit. And out loud when I was getting ready. What am I painting today? I am painting Prince Duval of the Crimson Court. He's a vampire. Because apparently I don't have enough vampires in my life at the moment. Yeah, just a part of a set of vampires, basically. They're just some really cool models. They are Age of Sigmar, so part of the Warhammer. They're not part of 40k. I was going to say part of the Warhammer Fantasy, but that's not quite accurate because Warhammer Fantasy is a separate world from Age of Sigmar, technically speaking. You know how we were talking about getting the lore right? This is what happens. You have to correct yourself every time you start talking about something. Yeah, the reason I'm painting the armor silver again is just because I wanted the armor to be a bit brighter. The silver I used underneath the red last week. It's made the armor quite dark. I just wanted it a bit of a brighter red. Am I able to 180 my cam? I think so. Bear with me a moment. Please excuse the mess. Oh, not quite. Not quite 180. I might be able to. Bear with me 2 secs. I need to reset the clamp. So, 2 moments, folks. Where's the 180 looking a bit strange? just about getting all the different sections to cooperate a little bit. Oh yeah. Better. There we go. That's a 180. I'll just resituate the cam, so apologies. To be fair, I should have done this a while ago, because it also made it really weird for D&D. This is the same cam that I use for D&D dice reveals. So apologies if the cam's a little wonky. Repositioning it. Make it focus. Hey, don't apologize for the hassle. No, it's still upside down. I just have to turn it the right way up. There we go. Hey Ozzy, welcome in. Thank you so. Whoa, hello. 51 months. Thank you so much. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. One more idea before I get started. This is going to annoy me anyway, so I appreciate you bringing it. I have one idea before I. Dang it. This is gonna annoy me. Oh, can you not just split this in OBS? Oh, wait. Okay. I got it. Hey, there we go. We got that. Magic. The magic of software. Sometimes it works. But please never apologise for the hassle. I would much rather things looked and sounded good than ran smoothly. The numbers are back. Right. At least I know how to do it. Yeah. I don't know if I can get it, pick the flip box. Hey, there we go, we can. Ta-da! Oh boy. There we go. Now you're looking at it as I am. Was that actually a tickable flip box? More or less, yeah. It's a menu in OBS. Ugh. This wrist brace is driving me nuts. Right. Anyway, tech issues over for now. Hey Ozzy, welcome in. Thank you so much for 51 months. I don't know how you put up with my ass that long, but I appreciate you very, very much. I cannot wait for this lore dump that you have promised us. I think you'll all know that I will be taking copious amounts of notes and causing problems with them later on. Doom games costed you your alcohol tolerance. I noticed that as well when I started losing weight. I had one, like, very modest whiskey and coke last night. I woke up, I was like, ow. Why did one bourbon and coke hurt? That shouldn't affect me at all. I used to be able to drink 5 or 6 of them in a night, and now one makes me suffer the next day. This is bullshit. Yeah, I wasn't even drinking that much. Like, I was drinking because I fancied a drink. You know, I was sipping it alongside my what my partner, well, what I keep dubbing my my virtual romance simulators. I'm playing two RPGs. So, well, I'm playing Baldur's Gate, but I'm also playing Rogue Trader as well. Both of which have romanceable NPCs in them. So I'm flipping between the two. And yeah, turns out drinking whiskey and romancing pixels is a lot of fun. Even if you do suffer the next day. Chaya, hello, welcome. Almost a year. Almost. About. Thank you so much. For 67 months. Almost a whole year. Almost a funny number. I hope you're doing well. It's really, really good to see you, Chai. Right, I should get on. I should start painting, because otherwise we're going to be sat here all. And I'm not awake enough for that. As much as I would love to do a 24-hour paint stream, I don't have the energy for that these days. Yeah, it's wonderful to see you all. I hope you're all well. Down earlier? A few. And I've restart your Kali run? Oh no! What happened? What happened, Indy? I will say with my my girl, my Laia, I have what I call the canon run, and then all other runs are just alternate universes. Like, it's just how I get around it. It's like, it's okay. It's a non-canon event. Doesn't matter. Which is how I've got about 4 or 5 different runs for her, because I'm trying different, like, it's basically all a character study. Because I'm developing quite a few different stories at the moment. So I'm just using it as a way to get different aspects. And it gives me an excuse to play more Baldur's Gate. But as long as the canon save is fine, the rest of it. Surprised I remembered you were streaming now. Hey, I know it's been a while. But yeah. Painting streams are back. And for so long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm back now and I'm gonna problem. You can blame the new job on that one. New job and chronic illness kind of went, hey, you know what would be really cool is if you didn't see or speak to anyone for like 6 months and just worked and existed. That's what everyone wants. Okay. They've just after the space spiders, then went to clear the Temple of Selûne. It crashed just after me defeating Gonzara. Ooh. I mean, you lost an hour. Did it, like... Did it damage any of your major decisions? It sucks that you lost narrow gameplay, but I'm confused as to like why it would mean restarting the file. Or did it count as a wipe when you crashed? Is that it? Or did the game count? I've actually started an offline run now. I'm so scared. But I wanna do a really evil. See how far. Mainly because the true evil choices, which you all haven't seen the half of what I've done on some of my saves. I am a ferocious person. Some of you might have seen it. Me writing. Some of the choices you can make up. But that route is very combat heavy for obvious reasons. People don't like you being an asshole, so they can fight. So I'll be really interested to see how that pans out in Anima. Oh, so it knocked you down to tactician? Wait, so the Honor mode was lost after the Nautiloid. So it means you're on tactician run now, surely. Oh, so if you fail the Honor mode and continue, you still get stuck on one so far? That's a bit odd. Interesting. I didn't know that. The only I've only got 2 honor mode files at the moment. Obviously the one I'm streaming. A lovely Finn. And then I've got a Dark Urge one that I'm trying out just to kind of play around with the different parts of honor mode. That is so weird. What did I do to my hand? It's tendonitis, Ozzy. I have chronic tendonitis in my left wrist. So when it flares up, usually when I've done a lot of typing, it's a nerd injury. I've been doing a lot of reports and writing recently, and I've just strained my wrist a bit. But it does mean I need to wear this really, really hot old wrist brace with the... Don't know if you all can hear. It's got a metal plate in the bottom. Just to keep my wrist in the right position while it heals up. Yeah. It's my own fault. I'll be wearing it for the next couple of weeks just while it heals up and stops being angry with me. Yeah, it's got... I don't know how much we'll be able to see on the stream. If I just do that, it's got that runs all the way down to sort of the middle of my arm. Which is removable, which is nice, so I can still actually do stuff if I need to. It's basically a soft brace, soft splint. Or with your hand? Well, luckily, I'm right-handed, so my right hand is fine. With its glorious D&D tattoo. D20 for luck, right? Great success for luck. But yeah, it's just annoying more than anything. A lot of typing ahead of you next Saturday. I promise I am taking care of myself. It honestly, it is just because I'm doing all of these fan magazines, and two of the deadlines popped up quite close to each other, so I had to do quite a bit in one go. It's all good. Unless you may rest tendon, in which case they're all just kind of throwing a bit of a riot. This is why you don't do live chat customer service, folks. This is a direct result of working live chat. Years. 3 years. Something like that. Too long. Tidying up. Race to silver. So that when we go back in red, it hopefully not shinier. Successful. What is going on, OBS? What are you doing to me? Right. Are we still here, folks? We back. Cool. Thank you, Bunch. Hi. For some reason, OBS just decided to be like, you know what? I don't think I've got internet connection anymore. Screw you. No. You're definitely not Cursed Bunch. I think it's just today. I've had tech issues non-stop since I woke up. Yeah, OBS dropped the connection for apparently no reason whatsoever. It was just like, no, decided not to. Yeah, it's good to see you, Bunch. I hope you're doing well. And yeah, these streams are back. Ow. Boxes as well. I'm getting attacked by boxes. Yeah, streams are back for the foreseeable. Having a what day? That is not a phrase I've heard before. Have I been busy? My job is kind of wild. Yeah, I've not heard of having a sex fingers day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. That is definitely the kind of day I'm having. Fucking everything touch. Yep. No, my day job has been keeping me extremely busy. And then I got sick, which is why I had to take a few months off to get straightened up. And you know what, ads? You can fuck right off. Right. Yeah, it's it's all good now. I think is the easiest way to put it. A lot's been happening. But unfortunately, half of what's been happening is currently under NDA, so I can't talk about it yet. a fun session on Saturday. I saw you mentioned that. I'm glad you had fun on Saturday. I have a thing. I don't know if you and Ozzy have been keeping up with it, Indy, but have you seen what's been going on with D&D Beyond? And the new changes? Because that might be causing us some problems. Not least of which because I don't know if I want to use the new Warlock rule. For anyone who hasn't seen context, there is a new edition of D&D coming out. Wizards of the Coast, in all of their money-grubbing wisdom, is trying to force everyone who uses D&D Beyond to switch, regardless of if they want to or not. And they are basically making one of the most useful parts of D&D Beyond a lot less useful. By forcing the switch and not giving you the option to toggle it back. If you want to use the old rules, you have to homebrew them. Which I think is a load of horseshit and borderline an accessibility issue. Yeah. That's Wizards of the Coast for you. Honestly, if they didn't do D&D, I would hate Wizards of the Coast a lot more. Like, I hate that a company like Wizards has the D&D. Took a month off work and then it's been just work again. Well, I hope you enjoyed your month off. I hope it was for good reasons. Having a long break from work is always strange. I found, but sometimes it's definitely needed. Which is stupid. It makes me so angry, Ozzy. It's such a shady, money-grabbing thing to do. Because it will all be to do with forcing people to buy the new players' handbooks and things like that. Oh, okay. You said the magic words, Ozzy. I am going to rant a little bit. I am so annoyed about the Baldur's Gate Secret Lair drop that's happening soon. Because they told everyone that it was going to be beginning of September. The date they originally said was going to be after I got paid. So I was like, cool, don't need to worry, I can still get them. And they moved it. The original date that they announced is not the date that they're actually dropping it. Which means they've moved it to, well, I think, it's 2 days from now? 3 days from now, something like that. So someone who was planning to try and get all of them, I now can get none of them. And I am fuming mad because I actually really wanted them. You know, being an actual... someone who would both want them because they're cool pieces of art and I'm a Baldur's Gate fan, and as someone who would actually play the goddamn cards. I'm fuming about it because it just feels unfair. And yeah, making them limited release is just doubly stupid. I'd rather wait a year and get them than have them go to some fucking bot that's going to sell them or try and sell them for $4,000 a pop. Then they're just going to sit there. It's like, I have a deck And 3 of the cards that are getting reprinted are already in the deck, not including the commander himself. I'm like, why would you do this? But yeah, anyway, I am livid. I really, really wanted them. I'm not going to be able to get them unless by some miracle there are some left at the end of the month. So yeah. Feeling rather irritated towards Wizards of the Coast right now. Right, they fumbled getting Larian to do Baldur's Gate 4. They're fumbling the new edition release on D&D Beyond. They fumbled Secret Lair drops again. Like, come on. One of the biggest toy companies in the world with one of the best IPs in the world. Don't screw it up, guys. Anyway. Apologies for anyone who hasn't got a clue what I'm talking about there. But this happens to be something that I am not only personally invested in, but professionally invested in. Yesterday's session started with Yvonne locked in a... Locked in a duck pit room. The one who put her had a deal. The initial response is not to acknowledge her presence, but this might be a way to get out with no intention of helping. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. How long before the backlash makes them revert the change? I don't think they're going to, Indy. They're going to try and hold it. Honestly, like if you could list the top 3 worst things that Wizards could have done with a new D&D update, locking it off of D&D Beyond, like locking all the old content off of D&D Beyond would honestly be one of, if not the biggest fuck up for the release of the new edition. All it's going to do is make people just leave. Frustrates me so badly. There is no need. All of the content is there. Just hide it behind a toggle if you really, really want to force people to use the new content. But you don't increase revenue by decreasing choice. All you do is increase player resentment. Wizards continually make stupid, backwards ass decisions like this, and it frustrates the hell out of me. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do have some blind fanboys bunch, but it's also the fact that they have such a monopoly on D&D. If you want to play D&D, like, and I'm not talking about alternate systems like Pathfinder and things like that. If you want to talk, you know, if you're talking Sword Coast D&D, which is something that a lot of people have a very strong attachment to, myself included, you don't have an alternative other than buying secondhand, which obviously is not quite the same. You're kind of stuck. They're abusing their monopoly on the system basically, and it frustrates the hell out of me. Your bard sounds like a very interesting character. Honestly, that campaign sounds really interesting. Sounds like you've made some powerful friends and some unfriendly attention somehow. D&D isn't your system.
Yeah, like I get it, and don't get me wrong, I'm an avid supporter of other systems too. But for someone like me, who has played D&D for, I've played D&D for 2/3 of my life. Um, it's a part of my DNA, and it is, and I'm talking D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, Sword Coast, Faerun, all that sort of stuff. As much as other systems are cool and fun, they are not D&D. And I will always come back to D&D at the end of the day. And it frustrates the hell out of me, because if it was with an ethical company, one, D&D would probably grow and develop a lot more. But two, I'd be a lot less annoyed about it. Like, I don't want to give money to Wizards of the Coast if I could help it. If I had the choice, I absolutely would not. And I do my best. I try to buy from people who are not Wizards of the Coast. Things like that. But ultimately, if you want something D&D, you're gonna have to give money to them at some point. And it sucks. I hate it. But then again, I am one of these people who is slowly coming to the conclusion that there is no ethical way to make profit. Or if there is, no one's yet figured it out. Way too many shady companies. Not enough people doing. Like, I'm not even kidding. One of the things I would do if I had, like, Elon Musk levels of money would be to get the D&D IP off of Wizards and Hasbro. Just completely untangle it from them. Ads in 1 minute, folks. Unfortunately, I can't stop this one. Hi, Cindy. She sounds like fun. She sounds like a really cool bard to play. I hope pressure makes Wizards do the right thing. I honestly don't. We'll see. I am always happy to be proven wrong in these. Oh no, that's depressing. 7 for Baldur's Gate's coming. So who's ready to go do some evil stuff? like when the new patch drops, one of the things I plan on doing like a real hardcore weekend, maybe a bit longer, depending on how quickly I can get through it, and just sail my way through an evil playthrough. Just to see what. Dang it. The new one is so good. Like, honestly, I think this is the patch that I've been looking forward to the most. I want to see the Dark Urge changes. I want to see what happened. There we go. No, I didn't lose connection. Sorry about the ad break, folks. Alrighty. Guy is starting to actually look like finished. Oh, my brain. Rode well enough for the finale not to set the tavern on fire. Always a good idea. You don't want to set the tavern on fire. That might make you a little bit unpopular. Everyone. Dandelion fluff flying in from outside. You're wondering what the tumbleweeds are. Hazards of having a painting table right next to the window. Sometimes you get external interference. I'm looking forward to playing next week, assuming they haven't forced the update on D&D Beyond by then. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a bit of a headache trying to work out what the fuck they've done to each of the classes. Honestly, I'm looking forward to the fact that it's a long. There's, you know, what I'm going to be doing. I'm in Baldur's Gate. Partly so that I can get at least one fully evil playthrough done before patch 7 drops. And partly just because I've been kind of stuck in the land of Rogue Trader for a little while for work purposes. Not just a bit different.
What about finding skilled mage? I decided not to trust them with something that important. Probably a good shout, Indy. I mean, you're a bard. You've got like dancing lights and stuff like that, right? Good for pyrotechnics. All I'm doing here is I'm kind of making this game look a little more overtly, classically undead. Less. I think I'm just thoughts there. First person. I barely remember what we got up to. Yeah, my memory is not happy right now, so I will probably end up having to dig out my notes before next session. Ozzy, if you're doing a written recap, putting it in the group chat might be helpful, just so that everyone's got it. No worries, Bench. Thank you very much for the deck. I appreciate it. It's been good to see you again. Take care of yourself. I hope the job is at least a little bit less shitty than usual. Hopefully we can catch up again soon. It's not Ozzy's fault that we couldn't do a session last week. I will say though, Ozzy, you are killing it as a DM. I feel qualified enough as an experienced player to say you were doing really, really well. So, yeah, whatever you need. Month of pent-up anarchy. Oh, poor Ozzy. Just remember, Katrin now has levels in Bard. Which, honestly, Ozzy, I'm gonna have another look at Katrin's character sheet. I might tweak the proportion of Warlock to Bard. I'm just gonna have a look because I want to check when certain stuff is attached. But I'll run it past you if I do make any changes. But I'm basically tinkering with the Warlock to Bard proportions at the moment on my off time to see what I like the best. Completely fine by me. I appreciate that. It will be no more than 3 levels of Bard, is what I'm saying. Mainly because I don't think it fits Katrin's personality to be very bard-like. She's definitely more of the Shakespearean insult kind of bard than the dancing on the tables kind. But there's a couple of bits and pieces that I want to test about, and then I'll send. Don't forget you have two toes. Okay, true. But I think we all kind of know what kind of warlock Katrin is. She is the half-insane walking glass cannon who will melt your brain without so much as getting up off her seat, rather than the other kind of warlock. All I'm saying is, Minthara would approve. And, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything else with spoilers. That's not what I was after. Also not what I was after. My black contrast gone. Sorry, I'm not ready for the lore dump. Dude, you knocked me for 6 in like... in like session 1. There we go. I have been unprepared since basically session 1. Session 1 was the scene with the hall where Katrin had a little meltdown, right? Or was that session 2? Basically, ever since that scene in the hall with the 2 leaders and Katrin just mentally AFK. Session 2, right? Ever since then, I'm just here like, you know what? This isn't me. This is the character. The character is in control now. Session 1 was with Garrick. Yeah, I couldn't remember if Garrick had already gone by that point, or if we hadn't quite gotten to that stage. The one shot that turned into session 1. Best kind of one-shots. Honestly, I'm having so much fun with this whole campaign. I've not had this much fun in D&D. I love the universe that you've created, Ozzy. I love the characters that we brought into it. And I can't wait to see where it goes next. Excited to see the reactions. I mean, I think Katrin can't decide if she loves the Gaffer or hates him. At the moment, she's just kind of sat there like, I see you. And just probably trying to decide a little bit. Because, oh, now I want to meet his sister. Don't tell me that, Ozzy. You're lucky that I have a fucking brick, not even brick, like adamantine wall between me as a person and the character. You give me teasers like that, I'm gonna start trying to ferret them out. Or a lesser player would start trying to ferret them out, I should say.
But I do not do the metagame. But if we meet his sister, you know I'm going to lose my mind now. Be like, you teased this all the way back in August, you bastard. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna call this done. I get on with the other dude. I'll probably come back to that. But today is not a fine detail day, and that is a very fine detail piece. I want to move on to this guy. He is a bit more monstrous. Oh, I mean, maybe. Maybe. I think the thing with Katrin that I'm not necessarily getting through properly at the moment is she's not all bad. She's not necessarily evil. She's just had to learn the rules on her own in an environment that wasn't very good at teaching right from wrong. She's had a very long time to learn some very bad habits. Oh, what do we call him? Khan. That was it, wasn't it? Khan. Little drop. No. No, not child. We don't want children. Ooh, short rest time, folks. Don't forget to stretch. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw. Get something tasty to drink. Or tasty, even. Anyone got anything good at the moment? Have a vanilla and caramel coffee protein. Absolutely amazing when you are tired and unable to do a proper breakfast. Oh, why is it? Young adult. It's cool. That's just kind of well, I mean, I sent you the bit about the in her backstory, haven't I? About strays and why she likes them. Anne is a sweet little rubber dog. You cannot kill the dog. Don't kill the dog. I haven't, I'll send it. It's not that big of a deal. Basically, Cat has a soft spot for strays. Because reasons I'll send in. Because of her upbringing. I'll send the rest of DMs because there are people from the campaign in chat. I don't know, and they don't know why Cat. They don't even know that Cat likes strays. than the reasons with any character sheet. I love Katrin. It's funny. I was talking to someone else about it today. But it's always funny, like with good characters. It's so easy to get their background out, and it's so easy for people to understand where they come from. But with characters that are a little less morally sound, trying to get backstory out super hard. It's really hard to be like, hey, yeah, this is like, I am like this because of XYZ. Because your character wouldn't just come out and say that. Like, at least Katrin's so cagey about even the smallest thing. He was in danger the minute you introduced him to Kat. Like, I was talking to my partner about this a little bit yesterday. You give me, like, if I'm playing a gremlin character like Katrin, like most of my Baldur's Gate characters, you let me play that, and then you give me a straight-laced, authoritarian figure who has access to a lot of power but is very serious about doing the right thing, and you put it against one of my gremlins, that I am immediately like, ooh, I see story here, I'm gonna go after this. Like, it's absolute catnip for my storyteller brain and RP in general. I love getting under the skin of like characters like William. Or like Heinrichs from Road Trader, or what's another good example? Will from Baldur's Gate is another one. Gale is another one. Just like very overtly good characters who are serious about using power correctly, or maybe wield a lot of authority, or who present as very like upright citizens of the world. And then you put them against one of my absolute gremlins of chaotic energy that are all about freedom and doing things your own way and carving your own way in the world, and maybe a little more flexible about the morality of such choices. And it is so nice for my writer's brain, because I'm just sat here like, okay, now this I can make a story. Particularly if my characters have a visible influence on their approaches. So if I can corrupt a character, if I can sit here and be like, you used to be so upstanding and now look at you, you're down here with the rest of us. That is a big character moment for my characters. Or having the upright character reform the gremlin into something a little more tame. It's also a lot of fun. But look how wild you used to be, and now you can sit with the rest of us. I love that dynamic. Chaotic Marisha Warrior energy here. Why, thank you. Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's that kind of dynamic. Hello. Drago Bancho, welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, I love that kind of dynamic. Of just, yeah, chaotic gremlin meets powerful lawful good, and they have an influence on each other, for good or for evil. And suddenly it was everybody's problem that they had met. And it doesn't have to be romantic, it doesn't have to be anything more than a great friendship. But it is so much fun to play with and play against. So thank you for giving me William against Catherine. You got your name right? I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. We're welcome in. I hope you're having a good weekend. We're talking all things D&D and Baldur's Gate at the moment. What am I painting? I am painting part of the Crimson Court from Warhammer Fantasy, although my camera's not doing a very good job of picking them up today. This one, I believe... let's see if I can get his name right. I've got the thingy right here. This one is Nameless Gargoyle type. Ultimately, it's this guy here. So this is for AOS, mainly. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's not picking up on the camera very well, but yeah. I kind of do a little bit of all kinds of Warhammer. Mainly 40k, if I'm honest. But I like the Crimson Court set, so I decided to pick it up and paint it. You are, I'm assuming you're a hobbyist, Drago, from what you were saying? If you are, what do you like working on? I'm having paint problems, so I apologize if this looks a little messy right now. My paint is just separated. So I'm trying to work with it the best I can. Because I don't have any alternatives right now. William's a real gift in our D&D campaign. I'm very, very glad that I've got something like that to play Catherine off with. Because if anyone in the group, well, if anyone in our campaign is going to get through to Cat, William's currently got the best chance. Holdy might be able to get through to her, maybe. With a good enough roll. Kalia is more likely, Cat's more likely to go all protective on Kalia than give her any sort of insight that way. You know what? I have to change. I'm not going to be able to paint it quite the way I imagined it, but I think I would. Returning hobbyist, nice. Originally playing 3rd Ed, War Machine 1st Ed. Yeah, I know a lot of people who've done that. Who'll come back. Did you come back for 9th or 10th? Around that sort of time? Yeah, funnily enough, I started in 7th Ed. Oh, damn, heartbreak. Yeah, I started in 7th edition, and then been playing, well, painting pretty solidly since then. I don't play as much as I used to. Yeah, for context, if I'm talking about the campaign, I'm talking about one that I'm in with Indy and Ozzy and the lovely Willtop, who is not here today, I don't think. But we're playing D&D campaign together. Amy mentioning that's the context. Katrin is my chaotic, not quite good warlock bard multi-class. Acted to an old god. Because why not? Well, I know exactly why not. You don't give someone like me the power to mess with people's heads in fantasy setting when I've got 20 plus years experience of doing knack for creating story. Out of smallest detail.
Lace your heart with mine. Let your sleeping soul take flight. Take me through the night. Down, down, down.
Oh, that's right. I need to get picked up on my.
Down, down, down by the river. Hanging morning fog. Mist will lead
Hey, Max, you quit. Oh, okay. Yeah. War games are theoretically cheaper than trading card games, but it's a it's debatable. I also play Commander, so I get it. I used to way back when. Used to be into Pokemon as well. But I stopped. Pokemon. That's a good selection of war games. I'll be honest, these days I'm less of a player and more of a painter. But Battletech is very highly regarded. Bushido is also apparently very fun. As is Conquest. I've not heard a lot about Infinity and Warcry. But I think that's mainly just because people around me are primarily focused on Warhammer. So I mainly hear about 40k, AOS, Warcry, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, GW. Other wargaming companies are available. A local hobby store. Support your local hobby stores, folks. Support independent retailers. Favorite nerdy hobbies wouldn't exist without. Halfling used to be a fighter druid. I hope you enjoy the new Kalia rework. I'm looking forward to seeing what this new staff Cat's picked up can really do. Like I'm kind of itching for a big fight now, because Cat's got a whole new bag of tricks, and he ain't afraid to use. Though there have been already several occasions where I've had to secretly roll dice to see whether or not Cat's gonna pick a fight. That'll be interesting to see if see what happens next session, basically. No. These are the models. Oh, they're by the same company. Oh, that's cool. Just off of the name alone, Warcrow is probably one that I will check out. I like crows and corvids and stuff like that, so I don't know if it's got anything to do with them whatsoever, but I'll definitely take a look. I'm always down for interesting models. Yeah, it's just honestly, it's just a time thing for me. Just finding the time to actually build up an entire army, paint it, keep up to date with the rules, and then organize, you know, games that might take an entire day. My schedule simply does not allow for that anymore. The fantasy war game, awesome. Awesome. I've got a ton of 40k, ton of sci-fi. Like I'm also quite into board games, so a lot of my board games are sci-fi themed. So some fantasy will do me some good. Plus, everyone likes a good D&D. Number of times I've repurposed a fantasy war game mini for D&D is too damn high. Which is what these guys are going to be. They are going to be put into my D&D box for when I actually manage to get round to playing in-person D&D games again. These guys are going into my box of monsters. War Machine. Oh, cool. One main leader, a few big guys, and some infantry. Oh, okay. That's cool. They're just kind of like a, yeah, like you said, a slightly bigger scale. Like, honestly, I like how Battlefront is set up, where you just have a little warband. Just for someone like me who is just like insanely just being able to get a collection of sort of 5 or 6 guys together, a couple of leaders and like a handful of regular chaff to throw together a game that can be done before lunchtime. That's always a plus for me now. Just because got shit to do. No one who's spending all my time running backward and forward between the rule books going, yes, but I have a thing that counters your thing. What's this? You have a counter for my counter? How about I counterspell that? You like them apples? Not pointing any fingers at all, but there have been a couple of editions that have been pretty bad for that sort of thing. Speaking of counters, Indie, I now have access to silvery barbs. Sounds like two people. Yeah, exactly, Indie. That was what a previous edition of Warhammer 40k was like. It was like 2 blue mill decks fighting against each other. But yeah, Cat now has silvery barbs. I'm sorry, Ozzy. This is why you shouldn't have let me have Bard as well as Warlock. Now all we need to do is get Toldy and Cat fighting each other at some point. Because then they'd just be throwing silvery barbs at each other. Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good. Ozzy is gonna ban silvery barbs at this rate because we've been tormenting him with it. I make no promises on how often I'm going to use it as well. I'm a warlock, so I get spell slots back every time I short rest. Not like these sorcerers and all those types have to long rest. I just need a quick cat nap. And it also means all of my spells default cast at level 5 for Warlock. So if I use a Warlock spell slot, it's defaulted. No, it'll be level 6 now. Default level 6. Let's go. I didn't know how much I loved playing Warlocks until I got really into playing Cat. But honestly, Warlocks and Rogues might be my favourite classes to play these days. Because playing Catherine's been a ton of fun. And I have Rogues as well that are just so satisfying. Excuse me, what? Excuse me, Ozzy? What do you mean? Reincarnation torture? Hello? We can't do that. We've discussed this. I don't agree with having Catherine reincarnated. At least not under my control. If you want to have a Lucian kind of situation, by all means. But, Catherine dies. That's it. R.I.P. Warlocks are great. Warlocks are fantastic. They are so much fun. They have no business being as fun as they are. But then again, I am quite biased. Oh my god. EPK brings the entire party back for the boss fight. Imagine. Yeah, and it would show off quite how much Cat holds back. He got brought back for a big boss fight. Once he's seen the character sheet, he knows how nuclear Cat can go. And how she hasn't yet pressed those buttons. undead drones. Never mind undead. I mean, Revivify is a spell that works and is technically only level 3, which seems wildly low for something that literally brings people back from the dead. Gentle Repose is like level 5. All you really need is level 6 or 7 Cleric floating around. Someone with a decent mind control spell like Compulsion. There you go. I'm not saying I thought about this before, but I have 100% planned out doing that. Remember the dungeon dive? Hell yeah. I still want a big fight, Ozzy. I want to know what happens with Garrick. I want to know. There's so many things. Like, I have so many questions. That's the fun of D&D. That's the fun of being a player as well. I love the fact that I don't know what's going to happen next. I have been a forever DM for so long. You have no idea how much of a gift this is to be able to sort of go, I have no clue. I don't know what's happening next. We'll see. We'll find out. Because not only am I a GM normally, like, when I'm story writing, obviously I'm the one who decides what happens next. So people will sit there like, oh my god, the twist! Out of something that I've written, and I'm just sat here like, yeah, but I knew the twist was happening when I wrote the first line. And how it goes. So anything that gives me an outlet to participate in a story without knowing the conclusion, I am all for it. Because so much of my life is about knowing the conclusions ahead of time. Like, even in my job, I work on story-based games, but I have to review all of the outcomes for all of the different branches of the narrative. I'm kind of like Doctor Strange when he's bargaining with Dormammu. By the time that the actual game comes out, I was like, oh, you know, I picked this option and this option, and I never expected it to end up here. And I'm like, yeah, it's because you also did this, this, and this, like 3 chapters beforehand. I already know because I've worked on it. So, as much as I love crafting stories, being able to craft them without knowing the ending, like we are with D&D, with our campaign, is such a gift. It really, truly is. As I said in a stream earlier this week, stories are magic. Really are. So important. 50-50 on saving Garrick? Good to know. I am teasing, by the way, Ozzy, about metaing. No, I never would. Ruins the magic. I thought I would make that clear for anyone who can't distinguish my ultra dry British sarcasm. I would never metagame. Closest I get to metagaming is playing around with different character builds. Which I'm not sure quite counts. I'm really looking forward to D&D. I wish I had more time to do more D&D as a player, not just as a GM. But then again, I wish I had more free time to do a lot of things. Here's a question: what would your backup character be? I currently have 2 backup characters in D. One is a tiefling arcane archer who is very different personality-wise from Cat. The other is a blood hunter. And I'm not specifying anything else about them because it's integral to their plot and their backstory. Which, if I end up bringing them in, you'll find out. Out of the 2, I think the tiefling is easier to get on with, but the blood hunter's the more interesting character. Oh no, wait, it wasn't a tiefling, it was a fire genasi, I think. One of them is a fire genasi. I can't remember which one now. I think I made the archer genasi in the end. I'm glad people are liking my world. Your world is fantastic, Ozzy. It's so interesting. Like, I legitimately want to write stories based in your world. But obviously, I'm not going to ask for world building notes while we're still playing. But if you're ever considering an official novelization of the history of the world, give me a shout. I've got 3 backups. One of them is not really fully formed, but the 2 that do have some depth to them are the Blood Hunter and the Arcane Archer. I wanted some character, like one. I basically have a choice of a character that can basically slot in comfortably in any situation, and one that has the opportunity to be introduced in a much more dramatic way. And if it comes to the point of bringing in any of my backups, then I'll have to talk with Ozzy about it. About how we're going to bring him in. Like, my backups are not fully fleshed out because I like to leave them a little bit fluid. Mainly because, you know, if they're backup characters, you need the flexibility, right? You can't have a really rigid introduction setup for a character that might come in mid-battle, or it might come in a quiet point in the tavern, or they might try and stab you in the back. You never know. But what I usually start with is a personality, and then work my way backwards from the personality. So yeah. I have a weird approach to character gen. Dragon Ball Life Cleric, Althea, College of Whispers is fun, and Helen? Is that Helen? That's cool. I just have one or two, mainly because it's D&D Beyond, and I refuse to pay for a subscription. Especially after the aforementioned shenanigans. But also, I just don't have that much time to gen characters these days. So, I have to kind of run off of stuff I've already sort of got a good idea on. That might just need a little bit of refining or even just writing up. There is a point though where I'm bringing one of my halves from Baldur's Gate. That would be fun. That is one thing I'm looking forward to with Baldur's Gate, with the official mod support. It'll be really cool to see what extra, classes, races, things like that people are bringing in. I still don't expect to be playing with anything other than visual mods until, like, for at least another year, probably, knowing me. Just while I ferret out all of the secrets. But it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see. That is gonna drive me nuts, so hectic. I spent most of the streams shaking paints, if I'm honest. I feel like I've made barely any progress. Also, I just remembered, I have to apologise for the delay in getting the most recent Honor Mode VOD up. I keep forgetting to actually upload it. So it's just kind of sat on my hard drive at the moment. I will get that sorted out as soon as I can. So if anyone was waiting to catch up on Finn's adventure, don't worry, it's still coming. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So there might be a double upload tomorrow. I might just upload this and Finn's adventure at the same time. See. Ranger. They all sound fun. Indeed, they all sound like a lot of fun. I just have one or two at the moment, like I said. I've played around with a ton of different concepts, but in terms of fleshed out characters, only a couple that would be in a place where I would be happy to bring them in. I do want to play around with Cat a little bit, see if see where my proportion of Bard to Warlock can settle. She's going to be almost entirely Warlock. It's basically a case of where do those 3 levels of Bard slot in with her overall level progression. Like, do I want to have all 3 levels already? Or do I want to balance it off with getting all of my Warlock stuff? Something I just need to sit down and figure out. This, no worries, this. Take it easy. Thank you so much for stopping in. It's always good to chat with you. Take it easy. I'll be around on Monday because I'm off work. So if you wanna talk RimWorld or maybe even, you know, other 40k related things, give me a shout. I mean, I'd love to catch up with you. But yeah, I'm actually gonna finish stream there for the day because I'm struggling, if I'm honest. Yeah, we made some decent progress. I'm really happy with how the armor came out on this guy. It's a lot brighter, a lot shinier. You see that without the camera focusing. Level 20 one shot? Aussie, yes please. Sign me the fuck up. I want to play level 20. But yeah, I am leaving stream there for today. I am hoping I can get more streams in next week. I know it's a little bit light this week. It's been busy as usual. So I'm going to aim for 2 Baldur's Gate streams, and it will continue on. We have 2 more members of the Crimson Court left, as well as finishing off our little scrungly little goblin guy that we started today. So that'll keep us going. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to go get some rest, and some coffee. Scrungly is my new favourite word, Indy. It's so appropriate for stuff like this, where he's just a little goblin of a dude. But yeah. I'm gonna leave it there before I get drawn out to another conversation. Ozzy, if you're doing a level 21 shot, give me a shout. I'm not bringing Cat in. I'm gonna bring something arguably worse. But yeah, take it easy, everyone. I hope the hangover sorts itself out, Ozzy. Drago, thank you again so much for the follow. Chaya and Ozzy, thank you for the resubs. I appreciate you all very, very much. You're all too good to me. I'll be back next week. Keep an eye out on Discord and Twitter or X for the schedule. In the meantime, hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now, folks.